Good evening, TechCrunch. It's 5 o'clock, and I figured you all must be really hungry right now, so I thought I'd bring you guys some snacks. Yeah. So let's see, what do we have here? Well, we have some sodium benzoate, which is linked to memory loss. We also have some monosodium glutamate, which is linked to headaches. And lastly, we have some yellow number 5, which is linked to a decreased sperm count. There you are, sir. My name is Keval Mehta, and I'm here to tell you that in the next 6 minutes, you will never see your food the same way again. Not only that, but you will also know exactly where your food comes from, how it's made, and also how it's made, and also how it affects your personal health. 30 years ago, food was basically local and fresh. And now, in present day, it's actually become more chemistry than biology. I'm sure that most of you actually look at your nutrition facts. You guys take a look at your food packages. And the problem is that looking at calories and fat is just not enough today. For example, we have these two products, product A and product B. Both have 300 calories and both have 18 grams of fat. However, when we look at the ingredients, you'll actually see that product A is an avocado and product B is medium fries at McDonald's. Two totally separate things, and I think you guys can judge which one's better for you. So about 2 years ago, my friend Shannon was pregnant with her first child. She was sitting there trying to figure out exactly what's healthy for her and her baby. She basically looked at food packages like most people do, looked for words like organic, low fat, low calorie, and also looked at nutrition facts. However, when she looked at the actual ingredients on the package, she realized that it was more chemistry. She could barely even pronounce half the stuff in there. So I thought to myself, how can we help Shannon and millions of people like her? So what we did was we figured that we really needed a catalog. We also really needed a really large encyclopedia of information. We also needed a personal dietitian to consult her on what is personally good and bad for her. And lastly, we needed to track all the information. So, after 2 years of research and development, we've done just that. We've come out with a catalog with over 250,000 products. We've also created a really huge encyclopedia with 15,000 professionally researched ingredients. And also, a nutritionist and dietitian built into our platform that will actually personalize the information custom to the user based on their medical concerns and cultural concerns. And lastly, a food tracker to actually analyze the components of the food, which are the ingredients, in an advanced analytics form. And we call it In Our Food. Now, let's take a look at a demo.
So InnerFood was designed with the average everyday user in mind. You select a list of dietary concerns from top 7 food allergies, medical concerns such as diabetes and heart disease, and cultural concerns such as vegan and vegetarian. Our friend Shannon earlier was both vegetarian and pregnant. So let's see what Shannon would search for. Shannon can search using a product search, an ingredient search, or use barcode scanning technology. I know Shannon really likes Yoplait, so let's see what InnerFood has to say about it. This alert shows that some ingredient in the Yoplait yogurt may not be safe for vegetarian consumption or for pregnant women. InnerFood breaks down the ingredients by avoid, moderation, safe, and special, which denotes a cultural or health warning. So Carmine has a cultural warning. And every ingredient in our InnerFood database breaks down the function, the use in other industries, the health effects, and the origin production details. And we can see here that InnerFood was marked cultural concern because Carmine is made with the shell of a cochineal beetle. InnerFood also scrapes the internet for pertinent articles and videos. And we're powered by Discuss so that you can have a discussion about ingredients and what you're eating with your friends. We didn't want to stop there. We also included all the familiar nutrition label information that you can just get on the back of a barcode. And also, we allowed you to eat this, which adds any ingredient or product you consume to MyPlate, which is our analytical tracker. MyPlate calculates the frequency of consumed ingredients. So here we have high fructose corn syrup, something we ate a lot while developing the app. We also allow our users to chart any ingredient information in a pie chart format and see the top 10 most frequently consumed ingredients. We also compare it over a date range and filter it so you can see exactly what you're eating and when. This is the entire analytic platform that we have developed. Welcome to InnerFood. So we figured out, why is Interfood such a disruptive force? We really feel that there's a huge disparity between the healthcare industry that exists right now, and the only way to adjust people's healthcare is by influencing their behavior. And the only way to influence someone's behavior is by actually educating them and teaching them right choices. That's where Interfood comes in. We are poised to be the worldwide leader in an ingredient comparison platform.
Now just imagine this. 1 million women using the application, for example, and 3 of them, let's say over time, actually develop breast cancer. What we can actually do within our food is actually take their analytical information, cross-reference it, and actually find out the common denominator of what may be leading the cause of breast cancer. That is the power of In Our Food. In Our Food. Revolutionize your food, revolutionize your life. Available now.
I'll go first. Hey. It seems like there's a lot of work, right? And I'm always a little bit skeptical of apps where it requires a lot of input. What's my motivation, beyond kind of getting this thin layer of data back? How do are there dynamics, like these 3 are my social graph? Do I get to see what they're doing and how I'm doing vis-a-vis them? How do you motivate me to actually do this?
So we do have the ability to actually share the information like on Facebook and Twitter, but the idea is that what you actually would do is vote your own analytics. So say, for example, 2 weeks from now, you've got a migraine or a headache, and you don't know what's causing that. Normally you might take an Advil or Tylenol, but if you actually check your analytics, you'll actually find out that maybe you've been consuming a lot of monosodium glutamate, which is linked to actually causing headaches, where if you kind of cut maybe the Cheetos out of your diet or something, then you'll actually understand that maybe that's actually what's causing it instead of taking medications. Like for example, sugar is just not sugar. There's actually, in our database, we have 321 different kinds of sugar, and each one actually affects your glycemic level differently and your metabolism. So it's basically individualized to every single ingredient.
I think that it's really powerful. It's obviously playing on a lot of trends that you're seeing with people being more aware about what they're eating, and so there's a lot of good things about it. It's packed with lots of powerful features, which is great, but at the same time, there's a concern that could be overwhelming for people. What do you lead with when you talk about the value proposition? What's sort of the one thing that people are going to think, this is what I use this for?
So I'll give you a great example. One of our beta testers was actually allergic to dairy. And she was having like stomach aches and things like that, and she couldn't figure out why that was happening.
Yeah.
So the thing is, she looks for the word dairy or milk or something like that, and she realized that caseinate is actually a derivative of milk according to the application. She actually cut that out of her diet, and her stomach ache stopped.
Yeah.
So the entire time she was actually consuming something that actually was derived from dairy when she's allergic to it. There's no mistake why the ingredients on a package are the smallest font,
right.
And right now it's becoming very difficult to actually understand what they are. So we believe that there's a lot of individuals out there that are avoiding certain things, especially with individuals with medical concerns, who this is extremely valuable to. My personal example is I'm vegetarian. I used to eat that Yoplait yogurt all the time, and I found out that there's actually bug extract in there. So that was empowering to me, personally.
Well, I think I had a similar reaction to Tony and the guys on. I think there's so many use cases that could be in there that I think it's perhaps a little overwhelming having all of those capabilities. Like for example, if you search in high fructose corn syrup, it's the entire grocery store, right? So how useful is that particular sort criteria? But many of us have children that do have peanut allergies or otherwise, so that I think if you maybe find a way to expose the capability in sort of slices, as opposed to trying to deliver all of it at once, maybe that will allow you to sort of figure out how to train people to use the application. So I just would say that it's a bit overwhelming, and I think you have to sort of carve down to more specific use cases, would be my gut, in order for broad scale adoption, perhaps.
Oh, absolutely. For example, we've had 5,000 beta testers in 1 month. We've actually found that there's over 350,000 scans that were done, which averages out to be about 60 a person. And from the feedback we're getting is people are actually almost, every time they go to the grocery store, they're actually scanning multiple products. And then once it's something that they can consume, they put it right in their shopping cart. So it's especially individuals with medical concerns or cultural concerns. And the sky's the limit as far as we can expand it. We're looking to expand to 60 other medical concerns down the line, and other cultural concerns like halal or kosher or something like that as well. And then also power the analytics even further to give you really detailed information.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe another way of I think we're all kind of coming with the same of like, what's the hook? Where can we anchor on it? How can we find that one either target market or use case that's like, oh my God, this is so amazing and easy to use? Because I think as you're describing it, it sounds like you kind of need a little bit of a PhD in nutrition to potentially even know that you need to use this product. So of your 5,000 beta users, is there any sort of commonality amongst them, or are they just friends of friends of friends of friends?
No, absolutely not. It's really geared to the North American market because the database that we have as far as products goes is scaled to the United States and Canada. However, we've had requests from Australia and Europe where they're trying to be more healthy eaters over there. The problem is, right now if you look on a food package, there's so many acronyms and things like that. We want to demystify all this misinformation that's out there. If you do a simple Google search on any one of these ingredients, you'll get so many different things. And what we want to do is, get a professional viewpoint and say,
but how did those 5,000, how have the 5,000 people that you've gotten in the beta program been attracted to it in the first place?
So the thing is,
into what you're doing.
So the biggest group has actually been pregnant women.
Has been what?
Pregnant women. So they're basically more concerned about what they're putting in their bodies and stuff, and how it can affect their babies, which is really our first major market is women who are pregnant. They're the most apt to use it, and they've been the most aforementioned and excited about the actual product and how it affects them.
I have a very quick question. The phrase that kept popping in my head during your presentation was citation needed. What is your threshold for saying like this is the case? Because they're saying there may be a link, but there may be lots of links, and like the whole point of science is you're trying to establish repeatability of experiments and so on. When do you say we should raise the flag for this ingredient or that ingredient?
So that's the problem. The U.S. government basically considers that most ingredients are GRAS, G-R-A-S, which stands for generally regarded as safe.
Right.
The problem is some of these ingredients are actually banned overseas, and some of those countries actually produce these ingredients or chemicals, and they ship them over here for us to consume. The thing is, with the analytics that we power, if we actually find linkages of certain chemicals and additives to actually causing a particular disease or something basically going on, that's information that's never been found before. Everyone says different things, but now we actually have proof from basically users using the application, the analytics that prove that this may be true.
Okay.
Or
All
more
right. Thank
evidence
you.
towards it.
So unfortunately, we're out of time. But thank you guys very much for the presentation.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.